Hi friends, Mayor Moreno with a recap from our Atascadero City Council meeting of Tuesday, October 12th, 2021. We had three proclamations. One was for National Hispanic Heritage Month, another was for Domestic Violence Action Month, and one for Fire Prevention Week. Then we had our consent calendar, which as usual, routine and non-controversial. One of the items on there is some authorizing contract for some design work on Lift Station 13, which of course is part of the overall wastewater treatment system, or sewer, if you will. We have a lot of improvements that are going to be coming in that system wide and at the main plant itself over the coming years. The one main thing on our agenda was looking at the El Camino Plan, and this is a corridor study that was paid for by Caltrans with a sustainable transportation planning grant. And so really it was looking at land use and transportation up and down El Camino. Now, not the entire 7-mile stretch. We have Del Rio that has its own specific plan. We've got downtown that has, its own plan. And so really, more or less looking at a little bit of a northern section between San Anselmo and San Benito, and another one a little bit further south down to San Gabriel. So in looking at those, it's really looking at what's the potential. Because you have a lot of, some very small parcels, some vacant parcels, some that are underutilized, a lot of various property owners, and not a lot of cohesiveness. During the plan, the original study, there was a lot of public outreach that was done, getting input from all of you, from the community. And what we looked at and said, if money were no object, if there were no barriers, what could we do in these areas? And really looking at, creating, say, job, nodes where jobs would go, nodes where you'd have more, commercial experiential retail types of experiences. And then of course, maybe there's some mid-block areas that could become housing because they're not best used for commercial development. So looked at what those possibilities are. Maybe is there any low-hanging fruit in there to go after? And there's something that in looking at this, it can feel a bit daunting when you look at, the various property owners, the underutilized, and how do you pull all this together? Well, there are some good ideas, but we also have two examples of how that was done, really in the last 15 years, and one of them much more recently. So back long before I was on council, our planning department got together the property owners at the Rite Aid Center, Rite Aid, Vons, that whole shopping center. There were multiple property owners, and pulled them together and created this idea of what we now have there with the Rite Aid Center. And of course, behind that you've got the nice, newer facade on the buildings. There's the Starbucks and things like that. But that was a very underutilized center. I don't know if you remember, but that front part was a sort of an unofficial used car lot. I sold my car there, I remember. And so today, it's a thriving center. But, that took the city going and bringing property owners together and saying, hey, let's create a vision of what this could be, and those property owners getting on board. Then you had more recently Mike Zappis, who did something that none of us thought was possible. You had a number of property owners from a Jack in the Box downtown on El Camino that was still leasing that building because they didn't want another, potential competitor to go in there. You had the old bank building. You had what was the old gas station. You had, what else was there? The Hoff property. Right? You had this whole length in our downtown that was just stagnant. And it was challenging, but Mike Zappis came at the right time with the right plan, and now look what we have going on there with, of course, the crowning jewel of that entire area going to be La Plaza. So there is a path forward. I see that possibility. And so what we did tonight is we had a conversation about the plan. We had it presented to us. We talked about the things that are important to the council. We heard what's important to the community. So things like jobs, that experiential retail, making sure El Camino, of course, is safe for people to be able to walk if they need to, and if they can, because we want to be able to have the environments that are more walkable, right? That experience requires something to be more walkable, that you just get in your car, go somewhere, leave, right? People need to be able to walk and feel safe. So a lot of things to look at. Nothing was decided tonight. We didn't put policy into place. We didn't do anything like that. We just said, hey, as we move forward, these are the things that we're interested in. These are the things that we need to really keep an eye out for, and we move forward with the general plan. We take all these into consideration. So that's what we did tonight. Check out the meeting if you want to look at the plan, find it online. It's really, I think, kind of fun to look at what the potential vision, what the vision is of the potential, I should say. Reach out to me anytime, hmoreno@atascadero.org. And if you are not currently getting updates for city council meetings, general plan meetings, all of that, please go to atascadero.org and sign up to get notified. Reach out to me if you need help with that. All right, bye for now.